West Conference. And let's move forward to our next matchup, which is Goody. It's always a showdown between these two. You have Boise State, an unfamiliar 1-2. You have San Diego State coming in here 2-2, and you have San Diego State as a 6.5-point dog coming into the game as well too, with the over under of 46.5. Now let's go ahead and look at this game in perspective and see that you have a Boise State team that's not the same Boise State. They are scoring 25 points a game, but they're giving up 30 points a game. This is very unfamiliar of them. But San Diego State's no better. They're scoring 18.8 a game, and they're giving up 25 points a game. So both these teams are actually have pretty bad score differentials at this moment right now. And when you look at the passing game, that will favor Boise State tonight. And when you look at the rush game, that will favor San Diego State tonight. So this will be a very, very telling game. And I feel like what's going to happen here is that you have a great home field advantage for the San Diego State Aztecs. And I truly do feel that the Aztecs are going to be on their A game tonight, and they're going to want to entertain this home crowd. They have Friday night, big time football, at their brand new stadium, which is about a year or two old. And, they got the people, they don't have to worry about competing with the Chargers on Sunday. This is pretty much their NFL game of the week in San Diego. So expect a sellout, expect a lot of Boise fans to pull up because everybody wants to find an excuse to go to San Diego and go watch a football game and hang out for the weekend. You know what I mean? One of the prettiest places in the world. You guys have to get to San Diego. Beautiful, beautiful city. So when you look at the way Boise State's coming in here, they played two really tough games to start the year. They played Washington, who absolutely crushed them in Seattle. Then last week, they played against UCF, now who's a Power 5 school, and UCF eked out a win against the Broncos. And then, they got their tune-up win over North Dakota, and 42-18. So that's probably going to give them a little bit of confidence coming into this game. But when you look at the resume of San Diego State, they played two Pac-12 teams in a row that are ranked, okay? And they got smoked by UCLA, who debuted their super freshman quarterback that day, and Oregon State just pretty much handled them in a home win. You know what I mean? But they didn't kill them. They just were able to beat them by 17 points. You know what I mean? But San Diego State still showed that they still have their defense there, and they haven't given up more than 35 points this season. So that's something that you can really say to yourself that San Diego State is still a pretty good defensive team, because when you look at their other three games, they did not give up the amount that they did in the UCLA game. So they're going to be pretty tough, in my opinion, coming into the night. The Broncos are a team that's a work in progress. They're working their way back into being the dominant Boise State Broncos that we remember. But I truly do think that it's going to be some time before that, because literally the first game of the season showed you exactly who Boise State truly is. They used to be able to hang in games like that with the Washingtons of the world and make the game really close. And that was the first time in a long time I saw them in an opener, and they looked like a tune-up. They do not look like a tune-up most years. They're usually a problem. They have became like the Gonzaga of college football, but that's kind of taken a back seat at this moment. And I think that pretty much the Mountain West Conference caught up with Boise State at this point, and that's why you have it to where you have all this parity, but really it's Fresno State that seems to be the leader in the clubhouse by the end of the year every single year. So with that, that's going to be a wrap on our Friday night games. And when I get back, we're going to jump into Blue Crew Daily. We're also going to go ahead and talk some MLB Friday night as well, too. So you guys stay tuned. This is the Premier Sports Betting Show, the Primetime Angles with the one and only Pop Dibiase, the Primetime Capper.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by